This issue, I believe some of you may have received email correspondence on this from some folks, or particularly this was brought to my attention by Gary Faulkner, who was instrumental with the county's Tiger Grant applications. Unfortunately, we were not successful with, but we did provide pull together a lot of vital information regarding the vitality or importance of US 401 here within the county. Attached here on the screen, I believe you've received a copy within your agenda packet. I guess the good news is we do have 2 roads going through the county that are identified within the transportation corridor, being US 1 and 64 through a small segment of the county. But unfortunately, 401 has been left off of this. Kind of just as we're looking at this, we're trying to figure out why this would be, or what they're looking at. You know, just looking at this, NCDOT unveiled this policy or plan earlier this year. They did receive some feedback on it, and looking at some of the responses, basically, and getting back to that, as noted within what Mr. Dunstan had noted, was that DOT has assured us that whether projects on this plan or not, doesn't guarantee any type of funding, or the funding would be independent of that. And so some of the folks, or some of the questions raised, or one of them was, what is the overall point of doing this plan, or how will it be used, and what is the funding plan? The state's response is the transportation corridor is a planning tool intended to help the state identify critical travel sheds within its system. It will serve local planners by letting them know what corridors the state sees as necessary to preserve connectivity, mobility, economic prosperity purposes. The next slide here, this is taken straight from the draft NCDOT corridor policy. There are 3 overarching goals within this: are system connectivity, provide essential connections to national transportation networks critical to interstate commerce and national defense. Number 2, mobility, facilitate significant interregional movements of people and goods across the state. And 3, economic prosperity, support economic development and efficiency of transport logistics for economic regions and clusters of activity centers. Having worked on the initial Tiger Grant application we've done, I believe we've all talked about, or I know we've been talking about US 401 for 8 years. I can verify through my employment here. Looking at this criteria, it seems absurd that 401 would not be included in this system. When you look at everything with the system of connectivity, basically connecting 85 and US 1 points north, 401 connects there just around Henderson, all the way down to Fort Bragg, which is critical for our national defense. For our mobility, a significant amount of our population travels 401 daily as part of their daily commute. We'll also contend, as we look at 401, if you go down on a Friday afternoon, you'll see a lot of boats going up there on their way to Carl Lake, or Lake Gaston. I mean, just you have a lot of different aspects of folks. It's not just as busy from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. It's used throughout the year. Economic prosperity, I believe, we've done the statistics looking at that. When US 1 was widened in the county, we went from, I think, about a $20 million tax base there to a couple $100 million tax base. Just the widening of US 1 facilitated that type of growth here within the county. So we're kind of up on the gun on this one. Basically, comment period on this ends tomorrow at 5 o'clock. We are afforded the opportunity to submit emails to DOT designee, as well as calling. To date, Cartar RPO has submitted comments to DOT, or to Kerry Morrow, with state planning engineer, in support of US 401 being included within this. Also, I've talked with Campo today, or the Capital Area Metropolitan Planning Organization, and the director there. They're finishing up their comments, and we'll be submitting them tomorrow as well. I plan to do so once I've received feedback from this board to be able to include with my message, but also, should you have the opportunity, I can certainly pass this along to Kristen to pass along to you this contact information for DOT. Basically, some of our, just our concerns, or as I mentioned, is when we look at the criteria the state has put forth, I don't see why 401 would not be a candidate for that. I'm not sure if any of you have had an opportunity to go through some of the questions and answers there. but apparently they've received the state received some feedback, looking at tier 1 counties, and the economic importance of 158, going through east-west through the northern part of the state. I would argue that we are relying on our transportation networks to provide the same level of economic impact to us as